why should I give a damn?
What the fuck is up? You're now tuned in to episode 105 of Why Should I Give a Damn? We back in the motherfucking building. Had to take a brief break in New York City, travel to the East Coast, get a little vibe, get a little culture. It was fun. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, show some pictures, show some videos, so y'all know what we were doing while we were away for the last week. I am your host, Eric.
It's your girl, Breezy the Barber.
It's your boy, Randy King.
It's the black Ed Sheeran, Kyle.
And we in the motherfucking building. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like us on Facebook. And make sure you hit us on that Instagram at WSIGAD_podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a revolutionary episode because we will be kind of changing the way we present our episodes to you moving forward. From now on, I know you guys are used to us dropping the whole YouTube episode every Tuesday, but for now, you guys will be able to get a taste of Why Should I Give a Damn 4 days a week. Because now we're going to be dropping 4 parts every week. So you get a Why Should I Give a Damn drop on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So shout out to everybody who's going to be able to be here and enjoy this with us, who's been here and seen how we've evolved and how we present our show to you guys. Because at the end of the day, we're a forever evolving podcast. So we gotta, every once in a while, we gotta switch how we do it, and we about to switch how we do it. So consider this part 1 or 105.1 per se. We in the motherfucking building. So shout out to everybody. Those of you who still use the Apple or the Spotify or y'all do the audio, you guys can still get the full episode on audio if you're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, iHeartRadio, all of that. For you guys, full episode every Tuesday. But for the rest of you guys on the visual tip, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, come fuck
Monday,
with us.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Saturday, that was a jam. But we got to get into it, man. We got to get into our NYC trip because we got to explain to the people where we was at when we were gone. We had a blast. Breezy, you was able to get Breezy and Ronnie. My wife was there. Colin wasn't there with us this time.
Damn, you just shitted on me like
I just
broke ass nigga.
I just not that.
Nah,
but
nah.
motherfuckers gonna want to know.
I missed this one trip. But I'm to be fair, a couple people actually hit me up. What's up with the show? I'm like, damn, like out the blue, and I'm like, I just was like, it was a week off, cool, the 4th of July weekend, my people having fun. I would have loved to be with y'all, but I'm let y'all know a couple people were disappointed we didn't pop up, and into my mind, my heart, I know we've been doing this for a while. We got the same fans, people, so I kind of forget every once in a while. People do listen to us weekly, so it is good to get that love.
Right, it's always good to get that love, but it's also
Yeah,
good.
we did get a little love at the bar last night for the podcast.
Shout out to the people who
Got
recognized us.
ice.
The guys who recognized us at Up Down.
Damn, that's fame. Like some people get bottles. The bill on me. You just got free ice. That's love.
Free ice.
That's
So
love.
I was a little lit. He was worried. Came, checked on me.
Shout out.
Oh, the old damsel in distress. Did you, like you was about to pass out? You felt
Right.
your titties while you was falling.
Exactly.
Hey, that's the oldest trick in the book.
Gotta watch them. But we got to talk about New York City. It was a whole vibe. I think
Definitely.
Whoa, Eric said it was a whole vibe.
It was a whole vibe.
On TikTok, Instagram in 2019.
It was a whole vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
The reason why I say it was a whole vibe is because it's unlike any city or unlike any place I've ever been to. Like as soon as you land in New York, you know you're in New York. You know you're in a certain place. Like the second you get off the plane, it's a different feel. It's unlike anything. The pace is different. Everything is extremely fast. You're getting hit by so many cultures. Like I said, the second you get off the plane, you might see 10 to 20 different cultures, races, lifestyles, orientations before you even make it to your Uber or taxi. It's a crazy place.
And we got off on the Airway India terminal, so it was very diverse in that joint.
Yeah, we saw a lot.
For real.
So it was a crazy experience for somebody who grew up in the Midwest. None of us had ever been to New York, so we were all experiencing things at the same time, just popping up. Another thing is one thing I love about New York for me, that I think my favorite aspect of it was the fact that you could just walk outside and find something to do. There's so much shit going on that And there's spaces for every group. I realize a lot of y'all in Milwaukee, the reason why 90% of y'all want to rap is really y'all want attention or y'all want your voices to be heard. And there's only so many spaces that allow you to do that here. Whereas in New York, they got a million different spaces and platforms. So whatever you want to be, whatever you want to identify with, there's a group of hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers right there with you. If you think you a squirrel, you can dress up in a squirrel suit, and guess what? Somewhere in New York, it's a park full of squirrel suit wearing ass niggas, all waiting for you to come in and join in with them. It's that type of vibe. Not to mention, I forgot that weed is legal there now. So, and I don't know if they've got to the point where they can sell it.
It's decriminalized.
It's decriminalized.
So they can't really. They can sell hemp stuff, and
it's actually
weird,
legalized. Recreational is legalized. They just haven't actually implemented everything yet. So it's like in the gray area phase right now.
So hence now you can go to the park and there's like literally weed vendors at the park where you can get any type of weed you want. There's weed people on the sidewalk.
Police patrols.
And the police are
at the park.
Yeah, at the park.
At
so
the park.
You don't have to worry about no type of sketch shit going on. It's safe. I love that.
Hey, if one city need weed, it's New York. You can't have guns. It's mentally ill people. It's a million people walking around. That's one place you want people as chill as possible.
And the weed was in the air everywhere. They was out there blowing.
Cause as somebody like I used to go to Chicago a lot, and to me, Chicago. I haven't been to New York since I've been an adult. I went a couple times as a teen, but I love Chicago. People know I love that city. I always said it's a little New York, cause you get a little taste of the fast life and shit, but it's not like New York at all. Yeah. But I used to smoke around Chicago downtown, duck off State Street. Somebody, before we went to go shop, niggas be looking at me like I was like the weirdest evil villain. Like I just had these, it was odd. And then once it became legal, decriminalized, then legal, I used to go as the stages went. More and more now, I kind of smoke, and a cop will walk by, and I always tell them they're looking for guns. They're not looking for that. But it's kind of like that with New York, because everybody who's been going has come back with pens and weed, and they're so shocked. My guy used to live there, him and his wife, she's a designer. They lived in New York in about 2011, 12. They went back for the first time in a while, and he was geeked. He was like, the same spots I go to, instead of an ice cream truck, there's a weed truck selling me pre-rolls and shit.
They said the weed trucks are police.
Yeah, they said don't buy from the weed trucks.
Okay, that's police?
Yeah, they say it's the feds.
They're keeping track.
We found the old Jay-Z looking ass nigga in the park. Shout
out to him.
He had the loud pack.
And this white dude, this white hippie looking nigga.
Yeah,
so we shouting out random New York niggas.
Yeah, we found some random niggas in the park that we fuck with and recognize their faces to be able to come back. But that's the idea. If you go to New York, you want to get the random niggas in the park or where you go to get all the drugs.
I wasn't care about no fent lace weed or nothing. He was just
we did do a smell check and an examination just in case there was some.
They was showing that shit here. They put it on the table.
Fent is odorless though.
You gotta watch. But you can
Act
tell.
Like Miller.
But they say once you sniff it, you lights out, ain't you?
You can tell.
They sniff it.
Well, they put it in weed too now. But
that is true.
You can tell. I can tell real flower. My intuition.
That is, and at this point, if you're smoking,
what's them crystals on there?
Did Michael K. Williams know real coke?
I don't know. Shout out to him. R.I.P.
I'm
to
just
him.
saying.
That's why I only do natural drugs.
Okay, but I'm sorry. I don't want to put a damper on it. Rest in peace.
Yeah, R.I.P. to him. The other crazy thing about New York for me is it's so fast paced that people don't really change clothes a lot there. It's just mostly like my brother that was there giving us the tour guide session. He lives there. Shout out Aaron. He was giving us a tour, and it was pretty much once you woke up in the morning, he was like, well, you better be ready for the day. You better have your fit for the day.
Yeah, because
we
was
finna be moving and grooving nonstop all day.
We was buying fits.
Right. Literally throwing shirts
Changing
off
shit.
midway through the day and putting on new ones. That's because you were constantly trapping, and it was 90 degrees. Yeah, and it was 90 degrees. And the fact that when you go to the clubs and bars there, and I realized like in the Midwest, we're so programmed to have to get all dressed up for everything, damn near wearing church shoes at certain places. Fucking at New York, you see so many girls with dresses and beat up ones
dresses,
and
Jesus sandals.
I saw a lot of dresses and tennis shoes, which to me is disgusting.
The women out there love sneakers.
You gotta be comfortable. Y'all gotta walk.
Y'all didn't notice while we was walking, it was two cops. They was looking in the window. It was one of the shoe stores, and they was just checking out the new Jordans that was out and shit. Like I'm gonna get these. I'm like, damn, they take that shit serious out there.
Yeah, the tennis
cops. What you saying?
It was two lady cops. They was looking at the shoes and shit. Like, the women out there love sneakers.
I don't think you rarely see heels or sandals. Man, like all the chicks are tennis shoe down there.
Yeah.
Which to
Ones
me,
and
I like
Vans.
I like for the chicks to have a balance. You know, I always tell my wife I tell her certain times like, don't bring them damn tennis shoes out. I'll tell her. You know,
If
bring
you got
the
a
flop,
dress,
bring the
if you
flop,
got a
bring
dress
the heel.
on, if you got a dress on,
In her
sneakers
defense,
is a
we
no-go.
bought the
Okay,
heels,
here
but
go
as
these,
you
here go
can
these
see,
niggas doing the fashion police for girls. I like to
Hey,
hear this.
that's it for
Once we
wives.
found
Not
out-
for girls for wives.
once we found out the rats really do come out at night,
Oh,
closed
yeah.
toes for the rest of the trip.
the
I
rats.
did
Niggas have to change their
But
whole
can
outfit.
I said this in the group chat. Isn't New York one of the few places y'all been to where you're like, this is exactly like the movies?
Oh, yeah.
Only
Because
place.
with
The only
social
place.
media, we get more in depth. Like before, it was movies and shows, but with social media, when you see people TikToking and doing stuff, you get a feel for that. But New York is the one place I've been to where I was like, even as a kid, oh, this is just like the movies from Times Square. We went to Harlem. We did, old Harlem. We went to the tourist stuff back in the day, but it was like, oh, this is like how it really is.
Yeah,
like,
it
how
really
we
is.
see
Like
it.
it's really how it is on the movies. Like I said, at any given moment, I was waiting for like Spider-Man or Batman to pop out of nowhere.
That would have been.
You know.
That would've
and
been
I also
hilarious.
like,
You
when
never
I-
saw a fat crackhead
I'm
as
surprised not on the
Spider-Man.
subway.
and I will say, if I lived in New York, two things I wouldn't do: drive or cook. Because number one, it's the craziest driving I've ever seen out there. The bike riders are the worst drivers in New York. They risk their life every corner, every street. They don't care. They're not hesitating.
Can
They're
we-
not-
It ain't really that
The
bad though,
Uber
because nobody
drivers-
driving that fast in New York. Like,
But can we
they
just admit
driving
that bike
minor
drivers
speed.
just suck personally when they're on the street?
Not in
Right.
New York.
Period.
Look,
Motherfuckers
not in
got
New York.
skill, but they just don't give a fuck.
That's
They
what
don't-
I'm saying.
That's why I don't like them. Like, I hate bikes on the streets. Like, there needs to be, I don't know, maybe they need to make a separate little side. I love bicycle lanes where they have their own lane, their own
New York
separation.
they ain't got no
They
space
had a
for
couple
that.
bicycle lanes.
They got the
Deep
most bikes
downtown
ever, but
shit.
no bicycle lanes. These motherfuckers just in the middle of the parked car and you and damn near finna clip them with your mirror if you so much as move a little bit out the way. So I'm like, I would never drive in New York because I know for sure the second I look down and check a text or some shit, bam, I done hit a.
Because bikers,
I done hit a whole
probably
Grubhub
100,000 like delivery drivers who use bikes
be
in New York.
biking.
Chop
Yep.
cheese
They be
everywhere, all of your
biking.
hood
And what
and
they
shit.
do and
We
how they
saw a
get
lot
their
of
money
spilled
is
food.
they wake up in the morning, they rent out all those free bikes, or they got mopeds too you can rent out. They rent them all out and they hop on them all day, and then to get rid of them at the end of the day. So
They got Teslas you can rent too in that motherfucker.
that was crazy too. Like
What
you
the
could literally
fuck?
rent a Tesla like a scooter.
Would you want to even drive in New York though?
Hell
The other
no.
place, like even
Right.
Chicago, and let you can
Moped,
take.
but not
I'm
car.
more used to it. So you can take city streets as you
Strict
can in New
Uber.
York. You can take long city streets, but they're long.
We got to talk
Pause.
about this Doja Cat situation before we close out the first part. Apparently, Doja Cat, once again, doing what Doja Cat does, being a bed wench, being a lover of the white peen. You know, black chicks love whitedicks.com. That's probably one of her first of subscriptions when you look at her debit card.
You got her on the board as Doja
KK.
KKK.
Yeah,
Cat,
Doja
like,
KKK Cat.
Jesus.
Fuck her. But I've been off the Doja wave, but I guess other people still fuck with her. I understand. You guys are gonna fuck with who y'all fuck with. And we live in a world where you just gotta fuck with who you fuck with and who don't give a fuck. So I don't knock people. Listen to who you listen to. But recently Doja Cat got into a dispute with, I believe, what was the dude, 17 years old? His
His
name
name-
was Noah Schnapp. Schnapp. He had one of those. I
One
forgot
of the
his-
Stranger Things kids.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was
Stranger Things. No, long story short, she tried to use Noah as a way to get to the co-host because she had a crush on her, and Noah ended up going out and exposing the text because what 17 or 16-year-old guy wouldn't tell everybody that Doja Cat is in my DMs? I mean, you're a child at the end of the day. I don't know that one child that wouldn't be like, hey, look, Doja Cat just hit me up. Stop it. So she went on to start to talk about, I feel like that was manipulative, and so he's trying to do some sort of thing to hurt me, and she played the full victim role with the kid.
Man,
But
that bitch grown.
That's why you don't. How you gonna press a child button and get mad when you get a Chuck E. Cheese prize? Like, that's what happens. You go, you play kiddie games, you get kiddie results. You're hopping in a kid's DM and you're mad at how he reacts to that, and you're a superstar right now.
I would expose
Stop
her too. Shit.
And this also just goes to that weird shit. Like, everybody was like, when we saw her in these little chat rooms talking about you can take this nigger pussy and doing like the little role play
Whoa.
slavery shit. No, that's the type of shit.
Well,
that's
she
the type
said
of shit.
that.
That's the type of shit she was
Type
saying. That's not what per
Something
se.
in that.
That's not per se what she said.
We're not trying to get our little
in
podcast
that group,
sued.
in that group where she was in, that's what they like
Allegedly,
to do.
she
They like
allegedly said
they
something
play
along
with
those
racial,
lines.
They play with the racial slurs by pretty much acting all that shit out. So that's the type of shit she was doing. She likes that type of shit. We already told y'all she was a weirdo on that shit. So obviously it don't just end with that. I mean, if you go into a motherfucker house and you see some motherfucker child porn in that shit, you think that's the only tape they got?
So the guy from the Stranger Things isn't wrong at all because he's 17. He is a complete pass. Because that was still a dickhead
Was that
move.
legal? Did
bro.
we check the state? That
Okay,
was in?
so-
Was that a
so-
legal
Still a
state?
dickhead
Some
move.
states
'Cause we- 'cause
consider
I-
It was a
16.
dickhead move to expose that she was trying to holler at the next nigga. I mean, this what she get for trying to holler at white dudes. That's why. I mean, that's what she get.
Niggas
Mind
is-
They
you,
don't
he
want
didn't-
you.
It wasn't like he talked shit. He just
No,
posted
I know.
a picture.
But that's a
And
violation.
everybody else, the people he put, because how do we know he just was immature and thought that, oh, everybody's gonna think this is cool? She's making it seem like he had like this malicious intent, which we don't know. I don't put nothing by him. He may have. I don't know the motherfuckers. I'm just on episode 1 of Stranger.
Okay, so Eric, let's just say hypothetically. Just hypothetically, you text your homeboy, or a girl twerking. Damn, she's strapped. He just posted up on Instagram. You gonna just wait? Are you just like it's
That's
cool?
a
I
bitch
should.
ass- no.
Are you gonna say I shouldn't have said that? Or are you gonna be mad at him for
That's a
posting
whole
it?
ass move. But see, that's the reason why it's hard to do hypotheticals with this, because it ends with the fact that you're messaging a 17-year-old. That's my thing.
It doesn't end there. That's just a great argument point.
It is there to me because once like you can't. How can you control how a kid responds to?
Why the fuck she didn't just DM him, bitch?
Because she don't got no game.
Motherfucking Doja
She's
Cat,
lame.
bitch.
Most girls don't got
I
game.
would be sliding right in DMs.
Bree, most girls don't got no game, corny, and don't. If y'all ain't got pussy or titty, or sorry,
I
titties
slide in
or
celebrity
ass sticking
DMs.
out.
The fuck?
y'all don't know what to do.